Welcome to Daniel Reviews. I'm Daniel Goodwin. Today, well, I should say, previously we had looked at the Faction Havoc Gel Blaster, which was so much fun. I was like a kid at Christmas, even though I got this for Christmas. Anyway, this is just one of many, many gel blaster manufacturers. And today we're taking a look at kind of like the main name in the space, and that of course is still Nerf. Actually, I misspoke. This is not Nerf at all. It's the Surge XL Blaster. Let's open it up. Okay, full disclosure, I did buy this from eBay. It was supposedly listed as brand new in box on eBay, so which it looks to mostly be. The only question I have is I noticed this hopper comes full of already fully hydrated gel blasters. I don't know if that's normal. So I don't know if somebody got this, did a couple of rounds, and then put it all back together. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, you get this. This is the hopper, and it would obviously hold gel balls just like it does right now. You get a USB-C charging cable, which is great, so I don't have to take apart any battery in here. You get a handy little buttstock that just slides on the back here, like that. It kind of clicks in. Not a great fit, an okay fit. It's a little tough friction. And then you get 10,000 gel packets, gellets that you can soak in water and use as ammunition. You, of course, get the obligatory eye protection, which you absolutely do need if you're going to be shooting at other people or being shot by other people with these. Kind of a funky looking set of glasses. I'll put them on in a second, but oh wow, yeah, these are definitely designed for smaller faces than mine, and I don't actually have that big of a head. This is interesting. I'll have to look and see where this goes. Probably check the manual. Get a sticker. Hey, cool. You get a instructions download here, so I guess they don't even send you the instructions. I'll have to look at that. And then, of course, warranty protection. So that's what you get out of the box. Okay, I'm going to scan this here and see what it brings up. Oh, wow. A YouTube video. That's kind of some circular logic. I'm not sure I like that. Okay. A couple of things I was able to figure out on my own is that on the back you have an adjustment for power right here. So this little tool that comes with it, you just stick in there and you can use it to crank it up. It adjusts this power gauge over here. When it gets all the way to the end, that's full power. And then, of course, you can screw it back to dial that down. It takes actually quite a bit of turns to dial it down. So, you know, you're going to be doing that a lot. You're not going to just be doing this on the fly. Since it's just me and we're testing, we're obviously going to want to crank this up to max power. But I love this because if I want to play with my kids, being able to drop the power is pretty useful. So that you'll see here, obviously there's this cool lighted, well, let me just get the sticker off of there. Light here on the side when you've got it turned on. There's one on each side. And there's also this kind of row of lights here. So you get a little bit of illumination. There's a switch at the bottom that turns it on or off. Here's your USB-C charging port. And as far as operations, you've got a fire selector here, which is single. I believe 3-round burst. We'll test that out. And then, of course, full auto. There is no safety that I see. At the moment, looks like there's no way to turn to ensure that a trigger pull doesn't result in a fire. Okay, this is pretty cool. We'll go ahead and reattach the stock here since we've adjusted the power settings. The stock just slides down that back. It's not extremely sturdy, but it's sturdy enough. You're probably not going to break it in regular use. It's pretty good. Ergonomically, this handle is not great. It's maybe, I would say it's meant for smaller fingers than mine, but and hands than mine, but that's not true. It's just awkwardly gripped. It's too short here, so the bottom of my hand is kind of having to squeeze in there, and it's not great. I don't like that at all. So ergonomically not wonderful. You do have this front part, which is fairly easy to grab, or you can grab here, which is okay. But I would say this is not a great ergonomic if you're looking for something that fits your hand very well. You're an adult, this probably won't fit well. And if you're younger, it probably won't fit well either, because it's still a really thick, chunky handle. So if you got smaller hands, it's still going to be kind of a problem. All right, since it came with a hopper full of already hydrated ammunition, we're going to go ahead and load this up. So we're going to turn it upside down and screw this in. Maybe, there we go. Great, that's in. And then it just gravity feeds in there. So gravity feeds pretty good. I don't love it, but there's no reason why it shouldn't work. Let's turn this on. Let's see if we can get some firing rounds going. Oh yeah, first shot went straight. Okay, so I was shooting in semi-auto mode. I will say, compared to the Havoc, there is the slightest delay from pulling the trigger to when it actually fires. It's very small, so it feels very responsive, but you do notice just a little bit of a delay. Let's try the 3-round burst. Oh, that's pretty responsive. Okay, what does it do in full auto? That's pretty good. Pretty good. Range test, this is not the best range. This is what it is. That dartboard over there is about 25 feet away, maybe 30 feet. And we'll just see how accurate we can get. I'm going to do it in semi-automatic mode. Sometimes I feel like it's firing twice, but you can see that all of my shots are pretty much entirely hitting the dartboard. Sometimes right in the bullseye. Let's see what... All right. This indicates your battery charge, so you can see I'm all down at the last. It won't even fire, and it's telling me that I need to charge immediately. So we will go ahead and do that now. Charging is pretty simple. You can see you got a red light indicating that it's charging, and then when it's complete, we should have full bars. Okay, so what are my thoughts on the Surge XL blaster? I guess I would say if it was my first gel blaster, I'd be very happy with it. And I think you would too. Compared to the Havoc, I think the Havoc is a little better. The ergonomics are definitely better on the Havoc, at least for my hands. The operation is a little easier on the Havoc. Nothing bad about the Surge XL, obviously it's good. But the ergonomics aren't great. The best thing I really like about the Surge XL is you can adjust the power and drop that FPS down. So if you're playing with younger players, you definitely want to, that's a nice option to have. Not all blasters have that ability to adjust your FPS. So that's really nice. I love that both blasters have USB-C charging. That's super simple. It's easy. It's hard to mess up. You don't need a screwdriver to open up a battery compartment, pull out batteries and charge them. That nonsense. So that's all very great. The gravity hopper system on the Surge XL works really well. I don't like the looks of it. I don't like how it sits on top, kind of obstructs your sights, so to speak, even though you're mostly shooting from the hip with these things. Personal preference there. One thing I did not demo earlier, but is totally possible, is that you can slide this out, which allows you to pull out the tip, and I believe you can replace this barrel with like a low velocity barrel. So that's probably not something I'm going to get into or figure out too much with it, but it is an option in case that's something that you care about. That's something you cannot do with the Havoc for sure. Price points. The Havoc that I reviewed in a previous video, I got it on a great deal on Black Friday for I think $40, and that's, I think, a pretty good price. The Surge XL I got for $30. I think that was also a pretty good price. It was around Black Friday, and you might be able to get street pricing, you know, plus or minus on both of those. But if I had to choose, I'd definitely leaning more towards the Havoc. I think it's a better overall, at least in my experience. But they're very close. Like, accuracy is about the same, range is about the same, feet per second is about the same. So I don't think you'd be sacrificing anything from one or the other. You do have some flexibility with the Surge XL to adjust the power settings. Ammo capacity is probably a little less in the Surge XL, but honestly, you fit so much ammo in these things that you probably aren't worried about ammo in most of your playing. Okay, that's probably going to wrap up this review. Bottom line is these gel blasters are so much fun. I have been shooting them off all over the house. They leave no mess. They're very little cleanup, which makes them a lot of fun for grown-ups and kids alike. The other thing I'll say is that just drew a blank. I'll probably review a few more of these because they're just so much fun to do so. But I'm hopeful to get like a chronometer, I think that's what they call it, but measure the feet per second and the spread of shots just so you get an idea of how much power. But honestly, they're all running in the so far in like the 230 to 250 feet per second. So you're not going to see a huge difference between the blasters. Some will come in at less, but like nobody's going to come in at like a ridiculous 400 feet per second or something like that. That would be dangerous, and you know, so they're going to keep it in a certain range between 200 and 300, maybe 180 to absolute top end 300 feet per second. Probably more like 280 is the top end. So you're not going to see a huge spread, but I do want to get a chronometer to measure that, and then also I'll try to do some accuracy test in a little more scientific way for you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.